Hello, sweeties. I have quite a few polishes from Royla to share with you today. This is the Studio 70's collection, which, as you guessed it, is inspired by the 70's. Quick notes before we get started. After I swatch each polish, you'll see it under studio lighting, lower lighting, as well as one coat over black. Let's get started. First up is Shag Carpet Chic, described as a burnt sienna base with pink, orange, and gold shifting shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats. You may need 3 if you have a longer free edge. You can see a bit of the shifting shimmer in the studio lighting, but it really comes to life in the lower lighting. Next is Vinyl Vibes, described as a maroon base with green, blue, and purple shifting shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats. You may need 3 if you have a longer free edge. The green of the shimmer is what's mostly visible in the studio lighting, but the blue and the purple very much steal the show in the lower lighting. This is Lava Lamp, described as an orchid pink base with pink to gold shifting shimmer. Shown here in 3 coats. The gold of the shimmer isn't super visible in the studio lighting, but it very much shows itself in the lower lighting. Next is Groovy, described as a lime green base with orange to gold shifting shimmer. Shown here in 3 coats. The shifts are visible no matter the lighting, but they do become a bit more prominent in the lower lighting. Here we have Flower Child, described as a purple base packed with linear holographic and pink to gold shifting shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats, it barely needed the second coat. The holo really shines in the direct lighting, but the pink shifting shimmer shows itself more in the lower lighting. This is Sunburst, described as a golden yellow base with subtle red to orange shifting shimmer. Shown here in 3 coats. The red to orange shifting shimmer becomes more prominent in the lower lighting. Next up is Disco Ball, described as a linear holographic base with scattered holographic sparkle and gold shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats, you may need 3 if you have a longer free edge. The holo comes to life in the studio lighting and the direct lighting, and the gold shimmer is mainly visible in the lower lighting. This is Fungi, described as a dark orange base with red to gold shifting microflake shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats, you may need 3 if you have a longer free edge, and it does dry with a bit of texture, so a top coat is needed for a full glossy finish. This one mostly looks the same no matter the lighting, except the shifty flakes do dance a bit more in the lower lighting. Here we have Mood Ring, described as a magnetic that shifts between purple, pink, and orange shifting shimmer and red to gold microflake shimmer, as well as scattered holographic sparkle. Shown here in 2 coats. You may need 3 if you have a longer free edge, and it does dry with a bit of texture, so a top coat is needed for a full glossy finish. The magnet used is the Arc Magnet from Lantern and Wren, and I'll leave a link to purchase this in the description box. You can see the purpley pink and orange of the shift in the studio lighting, but under lower lighting, all the shifts come to life. And lastly, we have Flower Power, described as a dark teal base with red shifting shimmer. Shown here in 2 coats. You may need 3 if you have a longer free edge. You can see the reddish pink shimmer in the studio lighting, but once under the lower lighting, it morphs into a yellow shimmer. My personal favorite from the collection is Mood Ring. It has so many different color shifts to it and all the different lighting, and I love me some magnetic polishes. Which is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. The Studio 70's collection will be available for pre-order March 10th at roylalee.com. The full collection will retail for $125, and individually they are $13.50 each. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!